how are you? Welcome back. This is our second podcast of the restaurant.
Hello, guys.
You getting better?
Yeah, getting better. You see, I need
Yeah.
to practice. So, as we talking last time, we was commenting with Simon that he will be soon in Central. So finally,
We actually are in Central.
Central. Yeah.
Sorry, ignore my boobs, by the way.
So yeah, the place look pretty amazing. We are in the restaurant, but we don't will shoot everything. We will keeping.
We are actually ready to go, but we're just waiting for our licenses, which are a bit slow in Hong Kong, which I think is another rant for another day, because we're definitely going to talk about this.
It's a really good topic.
I should be working right now, but we don't have our licenses to open. I guess because of COVID, it took longer. I guess I don't know, but yeah. Excuse my appearance.
Finally,
today,
you are here, and I'm
working
so
there.
happy for that one
Yeah,
because
well,
we are our neighbors for
We
real.
are. You literally live just up the road as well,
Yes,
don't you?
I live
I'm
up
not going
the
to tell you
road.
where he lives, by the way,
Work
just in case you will
down
stalk
the
him.
road, and my jingles is a little bit, so
Yeah.
it's pretty much I can come in here, go gym, get drunk. Go
You are a central bitch, aren't you?
Yeah,
You
I
don't
know.
leave central, do you?
All the time. I take taxi from my work to
Yeah.
home, so it's this is the best part. No, I never work.
You take a taxi now from work, stop by here, wait, make the taxi wait for you outside, then get it to go home again.
Yeah,
That's what you should do.
Right. So,
Where did we finish off last time? I think you were just telling us you arrived in Hong Kong, right?
yes, we're talking about when, all my
Yeah,
stuff.
if we're
when
not
I'm
mistaken.
talking Hong
I think
Kong.
we just got to the point where you signed the contract and you just got to Hong Kong and you
Yes.
asked Viv to ask, can I borrow your phone to call my sister, right?
Exactly.
I think that's where we got to. So tell me about Chicha, because I want to say something first. Like, I'd already been in Hong Kong for a year at the time, and the food scene was really, really good in Hong Kong. But for me, the opening of Chicha was a dawn of a new, more exciting. Restaurants become more exciting in Hong Kong, I think. So for me, Chicha was the start of it. So after Chicha, things like Yard opened, 22 Ships, all these kind of like really cool, funky restaurants, which I think Tapeo was a cool, funky restaurant.
Yeah,
But
it was.
Chicha brought it up to another level, and it made Tapeo give Tapeo its spotlight as to what it actually was.
Yes.
And for me, Chicha was the start of it. So explain your time in Chicha.
I think all the concept about Chicha at that time was not just brought first Peruvian restaurant to Hong Kong, also was
in Asia, right? If I'm
yeah,
not
it is the
mistaken,
first
yeah.
Peruvian restaurant in Hong Kong. Also, it was also the casual dining style that we did was pretty new. Like
Yeah.
I remember in the first week when they told me soft opening, never was soft opening. We were super busy and I couldn't believe in the small bar they just put in place in there like a 20 people to waiting, people queuing, waiting lines for just go and eat what they want to eat, and also the service. So everything was combined. Service, good atmosphere, good food, all the interesting flavors about Peruvian cuisine. Was pretty amazing experience to see how people is starting have that approach. Was a little bit take and giving, no? Because I need to be firm what Peruvian culture it is about
Yep.
flavors. Because the more at that time I believe the more thing of Latin America that people know in Hong Kong is about Mexican food.
Yeah, true. I think most of the world, right? Really.
Yeah, most of the world
Yeah.
know more than
Yep.
now. Peruvian food is more trendy than
Oh,
before.
for sure. Yeah,
like
yeah.
9 years ago, but 9 years ago, I thought Peruvian food is well known around the world, but no, it's still a mistake from my side. No, we're starting recently knowing, mostly Asian. Also, when Hong Kong have the first Peruvian restaurant, people don't understand what's meaning Peruvian cuisine. They associate it with Mexican, and of course, Mexico as a Latino country have their own type of ceviches, but it's not the same way how Peruvians with that our ceviche.
Yep.
You know, but was a little bit to be firm for who I am, for where I'm coming from, and teach people, and educated people what is Peruvian cuisine, what is our flavors, what is our main goals, and I didn't understand and learn to balance also my flavors, because as every product in every market need to have this adjustment process. No?
Yep.
So we love savory, sweet, sour, spicy, but I need to mellow the intensity.
Yep.
Not take out the personality of the dish.
Yeah.
Just mellow it to
Yeah.
be more
The thing
catchable
with
for
the
the people.
yeah, and the thing is here, like, so I want to say something first. You said you had lines of people outside. If you don't live in Hong Kong, if you ever come to Hong Kong, you'll see lines of people everywhere. And this isn't like a disrespect to anybody, but generally it's local people. They see something that is really hard to get, or it's cheap, or they have a coupon, or there's some kind of discount, or it's like the best Japanese restaurant, and they're willing to line up for it. You generally don't see Guido or expats queuing up for it. But when you say people were lining up for Chicha, this was expats. This was heads of banks lining up to go to Chicha, wasn't it? It wasn't just, and again, no disrespect, it wasn't like the average person in Hong Kong. This was like the rich bankers queuing up to wait to get a table in Chicha at the time.
Yeah, it was funny because I couldn't believe, because in the beginning I was just focused on my kitchen, even though I was in open kitchen and I was mostly near to the floor, because Chicha was really small, but well designed. I think so the way how they designed it was so smart. But then when I'm sitting looking to the floor, and it was table for 6, it was 8 people, and sometimes they take the risk to put
8 to
10
people. This is
people
Viv's
was
speciality, by the way.
Yeah, I swear to
specialty.
God, he teach me one of the good things I have up until now, that in Hong Kong, space is time and money.
Yep. Yeah, very true.
And I was like, wow, that is pretty important to know.
Yeah.
So he make it happen that in Chicha, in a small place, for nicely 70 people can sit properly. So meaning 2 rounds, 140. In a Friday night we was doing 200. 220. So it was really, really packed. And
if I can, another way to show how busy it was is normally in Hong Kong you make your return on investment, you'd say about 2 years normally. In Chicha they made it in less than 6 months, right?
Yes.
6 months, right?
Yes.
Maybe less than 6 months. They made their return, so they're making profit after 6 months. And Chicha wasn't cheap, was it? I mean, you're the first Peruvian restaurant, so all the ingredients you're buying in are authentic from Peru,
expensive.
and they're super expensive because you're the only restaurant using these ingredients, right? So, Chicha had like a massive influence on Hong Kong, maybe in a good way or in a bad way, because I'm going to tell you why. Because when Chicha became successful, from the start become successful, every chef started doing ceviches in their restaurant, didn't they? So, I mean, it had a massive influence on chefs around here. And you may say in a bad way, some say in a good way, but it had influence on people. And there's still, still see non-Peruvian restaurants, even Spanish restaurants as well, doing ceviches on their menu, maybe with a twist. And it's a good thing and a bad thing, depending on what
Before
side of the fence you're on.
I left Hong Kong to Singapore for a new project, I'm open my eyes and I see it. I'm starting doing for a while like a more research of restaurant happening in Hong Kong, because most of the time I was just focused on Chicha and didn't go much to try other restaurants. But when I'm starting like reading in the menus, ceviche, ceviche peruano, or ají panca. I'm like, wow, I'm impressed that happened right now, that one didn't happen before. So I might say it was a good influence for Hong Kong to bring all these new products, all these new styles
Very
of
much,
cooking.
very much
So
right.
people are starting getting more. I'm really surprised that they take it well. I will never say it was bad things if someone copies ceviches or they want to do their own interpretation of ceviche. I think it's part of the life, because life evolves.
Yeah, and in restaurants you have trends, right?
Yes.
And in Hong Kong at the time, because of Chicha, Peruvian food was the new trend, wasn't it? Because of you and everything you and Viv created in that space.
Yeah,
everyone started
like
doing
ceviche.
ceviche. Everyone started doing ceviche, right? So it was the latest trend, and you could still see now. What are we now? 9 years later from when you first opened Chicha, you still see Spanish restaurants serving ceviche, you know, and it's not as common as what it was, but it's still there, you know, and other restaurants as well, you know. There's some local restaurant, like local Western style restaurants that might do a version of ceviche, right? Because it was so influential, and
I really was happy on my development in Chicha. It was, as I say it, that time was priceless because it was take and given, no? My English get better here in Hong Kong. I did meet you, I did meet Donna, our beautiful friend, I did meet Emma. No, it was 4 Musketeers, no?
Yep.
Emma, Donna, Simon,
The Hard
me.
Rock Crew.
It was the Hard Rocker Club.
Yeah.
And then, and then I learning a lot so much about being as in a nice group in international way in a beautiful cosmopolitan city that Hong Kong.
Very much, right?
More movements.
Yep.
No, more movements, and then it was much appreciated. But then, a certain point, I was hungry for more challenge, more things. So that's when happens the proposal for Singapore.
Yep. How did that come about?
This coming out of nowhere.
Yep.
It's just that day that you say, I should think to consider myself stay more longer here, or I should consider to move on.
What year was this?
2015.
So you've been here three and a half years.
3.5 years almost, and then suddenly happened that someone messaged me because I opened the first Peruvian restaurant in Singapore. So I said again, wow, this is amazing. I opened the first Peruvian restaurant in Cape Town. South Africa, I opened the first Peruvian restaurant in Hong Kong. Why not open the first Peruvian restaurant in Singapore?
I have to say again though, the first Peruvian restaurant, Chicha, was the first one in Asia, wasn't it? It wasn't just in Hong Kong, it was in Asia, if I'm not mistaken.
I think yes.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, because at that time wasn't that much popular Peruvian restaurants.
Yeah.
It was Latino restaurants, which is focusing all Latin America flavors, but not as just Peruvian restaurant.
Yeah. So someone approached you for Singapore?
For Singapore,
yep.
So I was really interested. Sadly, I need to say it, I moved on from the project. It was a bit...
Must have been hard, right?
It was hard. It was hard. And then, of course, the situation with Beef was like, I'm sorry, I leave him, and he was sad, but he understand he need to let me go.
Yep.
We apparently we have a beautiful approach and love for each other. I have so much respect for him. You know,
as do I.
No,
we're probably going to mention him a lot in this video because he had a big influence on our time here in Hong Kong.
In many ways,
massively.
In many ways, I think he changed my life a lot. And also helps me to develop who I am. I remember in the beginning in Chicha, I was shy to go to speak with the guests because my English wasn't good, and he was pushing me to go. I was like, Arturo, just be yourself, go talk. Doesn't matter if you don't understand, just smile. And be nice and be kind.
Yeah,
I'm mean.
I'm going to be mean to you now. I remember the first time I come to Chicha with friends, and you come to speak to us, and you explaining the dishes, and all my friends looked at me and said, "What did he say?" But that's not a slight on your English. It's not a slight on your English. I mean, it is, but it's also because the place was super noisy. But it was like, so it's like we contend with your accent and the background music, and it's just like, and you speaking fast. It's like, what did he say? What dish is this?
Well, I still have that problem because sometimes I say something and people, and like I repeat 3 times, and like.
But that's what I love. But that's what I love about Hong Kong. You get to meet all these kind of people, right?
Yeah.
So,
and then at that time I was a bit ashamed of my accent, but now I don't care anymore because I think so everyone has accent in different ways.
I remember before we talk about Singapore properly, I remember we did a cooking show with a guy called Jason Black. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
And he was in like, don't mean this in an actual romantic way, but he was in love with you. He really, from my understanding, he really wanted. I think he got like about 10 different chefs. He started doing like an online cooking show. This was back for like 2013 time, something like that. 2014.
2013,
I think something
really
like
cool.
that. I think someone showed me the video on YouTube of me a couple of months ago, and I forgot it existed. But I remember he was so in love with you he's in love with the idea of you doing this cooking show with your accent, and he really wanted you to play up on your accent more because he was so in love with got this like real Latino speaking English with like the strong accent, and he was like, no, I want you to bring out your accent. I just remember him saying, no, bring out your accent more, yeah. And I think most people in Hong Kong celebrate people's diversity, I think.
Yeah, I think so. We when we come in here at a certain point we are a little bit shamed for accent and communication skills, but then you understand for where you're coming from and you make the effort, and you are easy also to understand other people who that the English is not the first language.
Yeah.
So everyone have their own accent. Ooh, it's raining there because we are in Typhoon 3.
Are we still in Typhoon 3?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm on holidays, always come in time. You see Juan is alive. I was planning my holidays not time ago, like this week I want to just chill in the beach.
Here's a hint for you: don't take your holiday in typhoon season.
I know, but Okay, I wasn't go to the beach, but I'm with the beach.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, Hong Kong was for me beautiful.
Yeah.
I did learn a lot. Sadly, I need to say bye, but also exciting for a new challenge. In Singapore, the challenge was be part of a hotel, pretty new brand hotel. So I never was in a hotel life working before. So this is a huge challenge.
Yep.
Were
you a standalone restaurant within the hotel?
Yeah, it was a boutique hotel.
Okay.
With a signature restaurant, no, which will be Peruvian cuisine there.
Okay.
The funny thing in the beginning, the Peruvian cuisine supposedly was Peruvian Japanese Nikkei.
Okay.
But the consultant chef from Peru, because I was the signature chef de cuisine.
Yep.
The consultant chef was from Peru, but he was more focused on Amazonian cuisine.
Yep.
Like it's beautiful food that we have here, but it wasn't matched with Japanese concepts. So this is okay. Let's see what's happening. Then the experience there was totally different as I did have all the time because I was ready to work harder, and I did kind of, but was pre-opening team, and we never opened the hotel, you know, because the hotel passed by different situations that I won't explain.
Legal situations, right? Let's say that.
Not legal situations, mostly like owner situations.
Okay.
Not between the owners, they want something, and then are in the same agreements, 50% each other. So this delayed till a certain point, the project need to shut down. Was amazing, beautiful project. Was Patina Hotels, the brand. The restaurant we call Eru.
Okay.
So creative, like Eru is like a Peru but without P.
Yeah.
You know, but was beautiful restaurant. I know sometimes so creative some things. Was a beautiful, really beautiful restaurant with 250 covers.
Okay.
You know,
how big was the hotel? Do you know?
158 rooms.
Okay.
All of them in VIP because it was hotel boutique.
Yep.
We will have a chocolatier. A small shop for showcase different type of chocolates in different bonbons, homemade because we have the hotel kitchen to develop that one. The restaurant was so nice with a
was it all built
private kitchen
ready to
also.
go? Was it all built and ready to go? The kitchen and your restaurant.
When I arrived there was under construction. Then they finished the construction and I clean up, I snagging, I checked the kitchen many times, but I never cook.
I remember you sending me pictures via WhatsApp of just you sat in an office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all that year, I was working in office in basement too.
Okay.
Which, as a point of view, when you're a chef and you want to do pre-opening, I did have plenty of time to do all the research, food costing, recipes, the standards, everything. But then when you pass that line,
so you didn't realize how much work goes into a recipe, into a chef.
I know it's a lot of work there. No one believes it. They think we just chop and put it in the pan and that's it. But no. But then, when that is starting to get over, of course, they keep paying me my salary, so I need to go to clean up the rooms. So I'm feeling super Latino.
Yeah.
Knock, knock, room service.
So you were on room service. So the hotel was actually open?
No, it was open. It wasn't, but we need to clean up the rooms to keep it in maintenance.
Okay.
Because it's a pretty new hotel, so the dust, everything will ruin it.
Okay.
So time to time we need to go.
Did you offer to do this, or they made you do this?
They gently forced me to do it.
Okay, so they said if you want to be paid, you need to help with room service.
Kind of, because in the end of the day, I wasn't doing nothing. No, just for a few days, maybe weeks. I was just sitting down pretending I'm working, but I'm watching movies. No, but then it's not fair. So I do understand that the company keeping the legal thing that pay us our salaries without any discount was a full salary.
Okay.
So might as well I need to do something, and then I was just bored to be in there. So this is way not learning. So I did learn so much things about pre-opening in a hotel standards. So it's so much to learn that way, which I appreciate to have that experience. I hope so I don't have any more. At least not like a GR pre-opening.
Yeah.
But at least I learned how to deal with many suppliers, think about banquets, or how to organize many things, or what to think about it when if it's a hotel life, rooms. You never get that they need to match the pillows, the sizes, the grams, it's many things. No? One of my jobs one day was just set up all the controls for the iPads because the iPad was your room with just with the iPad, so you can
Okay.
set up lights. I
Okay,
see
okay,
everything
okay,
with
okay.
the iPad, so I need
Oh,
to
wow.
check everything that one. I was like,
Yeah.
this is such a boring thing. But at the end of the day, if you
You
are
learned something.
guest
Yep.
and you go to your room and something is imperfect, you get upset, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I learned in that fact
Sorry,
that
we have
some boring stuff.
Can we stop because we have a delivery?
Yes, sure.
I apologize. Hello. I need job. Sorry about that. We're back. So what we're talking about, you were doing all the housekeeping. You were doing all the iPad stuff.
Yeah.
So you learn
As
all
I
that.
told you, I was really near to my Latino heritage. Now,
Yeah.
now housekeeping. I know that sounds sometimes a little bit racist, but it's true, and
Yeah.
we need to embrace it.
Yeah, of course. I
No.
mean, stereotypes come from somewhere, right? And let's laugh at them. Let's not go, "Oh, you're racist. You're racist." It's funny. I love it when people make fun of me for
Yeah, because also
being
this
British or
helps
whatever.
What
yeah.
I sometimes try to achieve also is like stop that. Oh, this is bullying, or this is
Yeah,
racism.
yeah.
It's not bullying. It's
I mean,
narcissism.
it
It's
dep-
a joke from the heart.
Yeah, I mean it depends. If I
Yeah, of course.
if I met you for the first time and then
You was racist.
you never yeah.
You was racist with
No, okay. Let's do a hypothetical situation. If I met you for the first time and I just come in quite brashly and go, "Oh, you Latino twat" or something like that, and start making stereotypes, you'd be like, "Who the hell is this guy?" But after a while, when you start knowing people and you know how far
Yeah.
you can go with them, then you can start making comments about the stereotypes of where they're from
Like you said,
or the things they do.
that you visit.
Exactly,
in Peru,
yeah.
whatsoever.
Exactly, right. And you know that, okay, if I say something, they're going to get offended, or they're not going to get offended, right? And you just need to know, work out slowly how far to push those people, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in the end of the day, like, do you make a jokes and comments with people that you love and you do in the best way, but to do a little bit sarcasm about black humor about it? Because
Yep.
as a human, we have that kind of black humor to
Of
say
course we
something
do.
mean.
Yeah, of course we do.
But then, if you start to think about it, that whatever you say someone will get offended. In the end of the day, yeah, someone will get offended, but it's not your business. If I'm so sorry if I say something and someone is really sensitive about it,
Yeah.
because even though I joke a lot with these Latino things, and some friends say, "Oh, Arturo, you're being so you're not Latino anymore." Like I do that jokes on myself.
Exactly, right? You're making
No?
fun of yourself, yeah.
Exactly. So, and I'm Latino, so I don't get
Yeah.
offended. So, I prefer laugh and make everyone laugh with me rather than be the victim.
Totally,
No?
totally.
But it's okay. So going back to that one, yeah, I was like thinking like, oh, this is so boring to set up of the iPad. But in the end of the day, it's a job someone need to do it in a pre-opening and during the openings to make the life of the guest comfortable, because it's what you want to achieve as a
Yes.
hospitality F&B background, no? Like make people happier with your food, with your service, with everything.
Totally.
So it was a great experience. I don't have regrets. Good thing in Singapore, I have good friends that the happiest moment sometimes was just going to their house on weekends to cook. Because finally I can get to cook.
Woo!
Yeah. Whoopee! No? But it was a beautiful
Yeah.
experience. But
So how long were you there for?
1 year sharp.
Okay. And what happened? Why did you leave?
And then, of course, when we know the project will be shut down for a while and we are jobless,
Okay.
beautiful thing, they didn't say it, you have 1 month. They say it, take your time, but sooner or
Yep.
later,
You need to leave.
exactly.
Okay.
So it was nice, and we have all the support. Then, of course, my bosses see me a little bit depressed because I said, shit, what I will do with my life now? They helped me to contact people, and I have the opportunity to go and do pop-ups in Koh Samui for seasons.
Oh, yep.
Was for 10 days in a beautiful hotel resort and with a beautiful staff, and I was having the opportunity to try the real Thai food and work in the kitchen with the Thai guys was beautiful because they teach me how they do things. Then I was going to St. Moritz, no? Because supposedly I will do the winter pop-up there
This is where?
in St. Moritz in Switzerland.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
In the Hotel Kulm. Is one of the beautiful hotels I see in my life.
Yep.
Is like more than 150 years old. They have a chandelier from 200 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
the hotel is, the city is beautiful. So as in the winter time, they are so famous, no? St. Moritz. the hotel I should be is one of the more famous one.
Mm.
But then, of course, when happened all these things, afterwards I signed to back to Hong Kong for Tokyolima project, so I couldn't make that happen. Sadly, I was there for a while, but then my good friend go there, no? So she's making a name there.
Oh wow, okay.
And she's really successful because the people love their Peruvian cuisine. I was really excited to do that one because it will be the first Peruvian pop-up restaurant in that area, no?
Okay.
In Switzerland, basically, in St. Moritz. But I could make it, but my friend, she did. She's an amazing chef, Claudia Canesa. She's now doing between St. Moritz and Ibiza, in Spain.
Oh wow.
But I back to Hong Kong to develop Tokyolima, which is amazing because you never thought that you will back from where you start.
Yep.
No? And back to Hong Kong for me was back to home.
Yep.
No?
Okay.
Because I have you guys, I was so happy, I know the market, I know the cities, I was just praying, please, the restaurant need to be in Central, the restaurant need to be in Central.
Because the previous two restaurants were in Wan Chai, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
The first restaurant of the group I'm working now, which is Pirata Group, is in Wan Chai.
Yep.
And the second restaurant is in Wan Chai.
Yep.
The Optimist. And then
Third
they
one.
want to keep a little bit Wan Chai area. I was like, yeah, but thanks God, somehow everything goes to
Central.
in Central.
Who found the space?
Them found the
Okay.
space.
Were you there looking for the space with them, or
No, I was in Singapore at that
Still
time.
in Singapore.
And the funny thing, when they decided to open in Central, I was in St. Moritz. So I was texting my boss like, oh, don't worry about me, because supposedly Tokyolima project was for 2017 March, April.
Okay.
So I was trying to fill it up all the time working in St. Moritz, between 2016 and 2017.
Yep.
So at the time I was in St. Moritz doing all the trials, food, a small pop-up.
Yep.
No, but when I back to them, like, hey, sorry, no worries about myself and this timing. No, I will be in this area.
Yep.
Doing this pop-up, but I will practice on and I will keep on going developing the recipes.
Yep.
No, for Hong Kong, and so I can try it there, and with more reason I can come here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
This is the recipe, so it's a win-win.
And you already
And they
tested
text
out
me
people.
like, oh, sorry Arturo, we didn't tell you, but in this week we decided we have the location already, we rented already, and we open in January. I was like,
What?
So you must come
So
in.
that's 2017, right?
Yeah, January
Okay.
2017, and they told me you must be in Hong Kong in November. No, I was like, okay, so that's why I need to say no to St. Moritz. I'm super happy to back to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
No? And to
And
back
we
to
were
Central.
we were happy to have you back as well.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing. That's 5 years ago already. Almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was. It was the November. I remember you come back the November.
November 2016.
Yeah. You come back, right? But you were still living in Singapore then, right?
Yeah.
Or you
I
just
lived in
come back?
Singapore till October.
And I remember you
No,
did
I
it.
came in 2 times before I moved. Do you remember the white party we did together?
Oh yes, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was
good.
amazing weekend, but also broken heart because when I passed by where was Chicha,
Yep.
Chicha did close down and they was opening a French restaurant.
Yes,
Do you
yeah,
remember?
yeah.
And then the fact that I just passed by and I see my baby just was.
It's a French restaurant. Yeah.
No, it just opens a French restaurant. Just was
Yeah.
all shut down. I was like really heartbroken. But it's part of what's happening in the life, no?
Yeah.
And then I back for do the tasting with Manuel and Chris, no, for Pirata, for do Tokyolima trial.
Yep.
Yeah, we meet that time. We go
Yeah.
out, and then I back for good in November.
Yeah, and I think we met in the November as well, right? Because you were doing a pop-up of your food in Optimist, right?
Yes.
In Wan Chai, which is their Spanish restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's many histories, many going on, but
What
Yeah,
happened to the hotel? Did it ever open? Do you know? In Singapore, you don't know?
No, they didn't. The location open,
Yeah.
but with other brand hotels.
Owners. Okay. Other owners.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I
That's a
just
shame.
don't keep in touch anymore.
No.
But I think they are doing good, and I think so. The Patina Hotel project will happen sooner or later.
Okay.
I'm not sure anymore about it
Yeah.
because already 5 years I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
But the project was amazing, seriously.
Yeah.
Shame that didn't happen at that time, but everything
Yeah.
happened for a reason.
Yeah, totally, right? I mean, look where you are now. Tokyolima is doing great. Again, it's probably the most famous Peruvian restaurant in Hong Kong, I think. I
I'm
mean,
not
there's a
sure.
few. I think it's the most common one, most well-known one.
Yeah, I think Tokyolima is really good vibes, really
Yeah.
good atmosphere.
I mean, it's got that whole Prata Group kind of vibe to it, which people
Yeah.
love, don't they, in Hong Kong? I mean, Prata Group has how many, like 13, 14 restaurants now?
Now we are growing up at 15 restaurants.
15 restaurants.
Yes, it's really incredible because when I arrived to Hong Kong
And you know when you're in a Prata Group restaurant because the vibe is always quite similar, I think.
Yes.
And, yeah.
it's like
And-
is Manuel part of his goals achieved with the guests? So he always transmit that craziness, good care of the guests, and be involved with them.
Yep.
And when I arrived to Hong Kong, he has just 2 restaurants, and then we opened kind of the same time, Peachy and Tokyolima.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Peachy was a little bit after, right? If I'm not mistaken.
supposed to be Peachy should be before Tokyolima.
Oh, okay.
But then Peachy opened week or 2 weeks after us.
Okay.
Was super near, no?
Yeah.
And me and Andrea, we was the new chef for the group. At that time, no, was a group restaurant, but then after
Yeah.
4 restaurants, I started to develop as a group. And from that day onwards, we growing up a lot. No?
Yeah.
Last staff party was need to be mostly for the restrictions. We need to split in 2 days, no? And every day was like almost 220 something
wow.
people each day. No, and like and then they try to control all of us guys, social distancing. No,
That's not happening. Not with
it is-
F&B guys.
no, with FMB guys. Guys, behave. Don't drink too much. We're like, oh.
Yeah, whatever.
And we're
Though the people that work in F&B that behave wouldn't come to the party.
exactly. It's like when you have the opportunity to party,
Yep.
you just party.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, let your hair down.
So this is a little bit of myself. We will talking about me slowly, and we can get more know each other. So I want to also know you guys. Any comment, questions that you want to do it, just do it naturally. No, you can be mean, you can be nice, you can be bad. I won't take it seriously. I know, right? He always encourages that one. So yeah, I'm Arturo Melendez, Peruvian. I'm now in Tokyolima. And let's see what more else we can do together. And now I think so it's time for the big bitch herself.
This is where I get embarrassed.
No. You want to slow down a little bit and then we back to you?
Should we
Let's
get more
have-
beer?
Yeah,
Should we
I
get more
think so.
beer
We need to
first?
refill
Yeah,
our
the
drink.
beer.
So
Yeah.
we do a small cut. Look the commercials that we don't have, but you
Yeah.
see, then
Maybe
imagine you
one
will
day.
get,
I don't know who that would sponsor us. But
So imagine you watching some trailer for new movies and then
Yeah.
we're back in a few.
yeah.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Be ready for this. This will be interesting.